Hi everyone, in this new build update, we've finished the raised main line, we've got tracks down, we've got power, which means we have trains running, finally have trains running, and I've been shopping. And I've been looking at O gauge. Stick with us. Hi everyone, welcome back to the video. It's been a while since the last one, but we've got a lot done, a lot of sawing. Thank God the sawing is over for now. So as I say, we've where we left off in the last video was me building the supports for the raised main line, which you may remember. If you've not caught the last video, check it out. So I made a load more of these supports. We've cut the boards. The boards are 9mm thick plywood. In terms of plywood, that's all I use. Up to now, that's all I've used. So we've got 9mm plywood cut into a sort of layout shape. So you can see that there's supports every so often. I put them out every 2 feet. You'll see I put singular supports. I was debating on whether to put sort of additional less intense, less involved supports, just to stop any dips in the wood between the main supports. So I'm probably going to add a few more of those just in between each main support. We've got a large area down there that I'm going to use that for something. I don't know what I'm going to use, because the layout down here, which will be the bulk of the layout down here, will go and intermingle with underneath the main line in various places. But there's a large area under cover down the back there, which I'm almost thinking might be a TMD. Certainly the TMD shed, and maybe have the yard come out from there. Don't know. As I say, we're winging it. So we've got the carpet foam onto the boards. That has been fixed down with the double-sided carpet tape that we featured in episode 1. It's just out of my reach and I can't be bothered to get under the layout. A lot of crawl under the layout to the centre sort of area this week. It's not done my back any favours. We're going to revisit that. We will revisit that in the future, not now, in the future though. So yeah, everything is foamed down and fixed down. So then I started to get the flexitrack out. Now I bought the flexitrack in 2 packs of, I think they come in packs of 24. Bought them from Rails when I first started getting stuff together. I bought 2 packs of flexitrack from Rails, and they come with the rail joiners. Never one when you actually need one. But you know, have I got balls? And I've never really worked with flexitrack. I didn't anticipate working with flexitrack how different it would be than to just slot it together. Because when you start putting curves into using flexitrack for curves and sort of, you know, tight curves, narrow curves, once you start to bend that track, you can just see here. I can just show you. Once you start to bend it, just watch what happens here. You can see that those are no longer level. So then that has to, need to start cutting track, which is something I've never done before. And if you've never done before either, I'm going to quickly show you how I do cut track and how I've learned to work with flexitrack, because a lot of this is flexitrack curves using the track setters that I got off the internet. And there's ones, I've got 2 sets. One's from, this one's from eBay, I think. I can't remember where I got it from. But this one actually has the company name on it. It's Printings Direct. And I got quite a few of these plastic ones. And where these sit in the rail itself, and you sort of have to bend the track into it for it to sit in. There we go. To curve the track. These ones will literally, you just see the grooves in there. These actually sit on the rails, and all this is a straight one. If it was curved, your curve would then just literally keep going around, and that's what I've done with the far end of the main line here. I've used radius 3 and 4 on the other end just because I had the pieces and it was easy, and to be honest I was a bit scared about starting to cut track and using flexitrack, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. A few false starts, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. So if you've not worked with flexitrack before, this is by no means an expert's guide, because I am not an expert. If you've been watching from episode 1, we are just winging it, literally winging it, but this is what I've done. So what we've got here, guys, we've got sort of very thin, sort of, they call these elephant nose pliers. I've got 2 sizes of those. You may not need those, but I'll show you why I've got those in a second. We've got our track setters, we've got our track cutters, little file, hashtag peroxide. We've got a little file there to smooth off the edge of the track when we cut it. Screwdriver, and also when you're cutting track, as I've learned, always safety first, guys. When you're using tools and stuff, please be safe. What I found when you're cutting this track, it sort of pings off in random directions like a spaghetti western. So we're always popping the glasses on. So I'll pop the glasses on now, and then we will just feed. Let me see this here, if we can feed it this way. Pressure's on. Right, so there we go. So you can see it bending, curving round there. There we go, slip that back into place. So there, so we've got that bent there. And that, you can see what it's done to the other one. It's actually pulled the rails through the sleepers, and the I think they're called chairs. These little fixings here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not an expert. So we'll look at that in a second. But what we'll do, we will cut. Say we'll cut around here. What we first need to do is just pull off. One side of these will pull off. There we go. One side will pull off like that. Yeah, we'll do that. And then what I do, you get the little track cutters, and you can actually just do this with a craft knife, but I prefer not to use that. I just use the little track cutters and just snip away. I think I've snipped the wrong one there. There we go. And then that frees up your track there. So we want to cut around about here. So like I say, we've got our curve. So we put that, say we're laying it there. We will cut. Now on this set, they are angled, and I try, rather than angle the handle, I always angle the actual blade straight vertical. Otherwise you're going to have sort of, maybe that's wrong, I don't know, let me know, guys, but I'm putting this vertical, the actual blade vertical, and with safety glasses on, we are just going to snip. You can hear that randomly go across the room. This is not for the faint-hearted. And then cut that one. There we go, and another one. So there is our, push those, there we go, push those. And then what we'll do then, we'll give our, give them a bit of, and then just in that groove at the front, just get it side on. Take these glasses off. There we go. Just give them a little file in there and underneath. So we wanted, what we're doing it for, we want it, when we put the fish plate on, the rail joiner, we want it to be as smooth as possible. So what we've got here, we've got our rail joiner, which is like that. You can see it through there. We'll pop, just jiggle it a bit, Granville, and I'll pop that in there. So once it's on, rather than sort of push in there, I have to get these tiny elephant nose pliers. I'm sure they're called elephant nose pliers. And very carefully, what we want to do, we want to get, I'll just angle this right, we want to get the tip of the pliers just in that V shape at the, I don't know, this little, just in that V shape at the top. I don't know whether you can see it. There's a V shape in the top of that rail joiner. We want to just get it on there because we don't want to squash the sides down. We want to get in there and then grip it as tight as possible, and then just gently ease it down. Then it should sit in maybe a bit more. There we go. And then you're ready to connect it to your track, to your other track. As for popping it down and securing it, what I've done is, I'll just move that back a little bit. Probably, there we go. All I've done with this is, look in my box of plenty. There we go, guys. In my box of plenty, I will scissors. Went down to my. I bought track pins ages ago. Well, a pack of track pins. And when I come to find them, could I find them? Could I help? So, popped to the local shop and picked up these. I've seen people use screws in the centre of the tracks, just like sort of here, and just something, go through the foam and go a little deep enough into the plywood. And what I've done, I'll just do it here, pop it in between a sleeper, push it down, foam holds it in, and then we just, there we go, and that is enough to hold it in. There we go. So that is how we've done this, guys. It is a bit of an art form, well it was for me, because I wasn't used to dealing with flexitrack, and it was a bit of a shock, to be honest. Cutting track and all that sort of stuff, and making everything join up and keeping it in place with the help of all the track setter stuff. But we got there, especially down that far section over there. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's come out. There's a bit of fettling, hashtag fettling, to do. So yeah, that's how we've done it, guys. If you've got any questions, or better still, if you are an expert, pop any tips or tricks in the comments for us newbies. Like I say, I'm not an expert at all. I am just winging it as we go. But there's plenty of videos out there. I'm using the Pico flexitrack, and Pico TV, their YouTube channel, has a quite a good guide actually across about 3 or 4 episodes for any unanswered questions, or if you just want to see more of a tutorial on flexitrack. I think Charlie Bishop from Chadwick Model Railway, I'm sure it's Charlie that does that. Good videos, well worth a watch. I'll pop that down there for now. So, hang on, get this out of the way. Hashtag behind the scenes. So, track to nowhere. Anyone that's watched episode 1 and 2, you will know that I've been using the takeaway box of plenty to house all those little gubbins, screws and nails and all kinds of stuff that you always lose. So now I've invested in Tupperware. I know, it's getting serious now. It's getting serious now. Yeah, £3, and there's a bigger one somewhere. Actually, might be 2 bigger ones. I don't know. Anyway, so that small things, guys. So yeah, plans now. So the next step for me this coming week will be to tidy up the layout, because everything is literally been dumped. It's not as bad as it was, because there was lots of foam underlay wrapping and offcuts of foam and stuff like that. There's a lot of tidying up to do on top of the baseboards, brush them off because everything's covered in sawdust. The floor is about 3 inches thick with sawdust. Tidy under the baseboards, because under the baseboards, I'm not going to show you this week because, all right, quick peek. You can see everything down there. There's good storage. And as we said in episode 1, the height of built these baseboards is great for any small sliding trolleys and stuff for storage. It's just brilliant. So I'll be probably de-sawdusting everything down there. And yeah, just giving the place a good tidy up, making the blank canvas to crack on. And where we're going to crack on next week is these twin tracks. There's one line that's got power. Both loops are connected in terms of track wise, but only one loop has got power. So I'm powering this whole loop off one pair of pre-wired fish plates into the NCE power cab, which is brilliant. Which is brilliant. I've had no problems at all, no drop in power whatsoever. But before I start building onto it and ballasting, which will be further down the line, to be honest, ballasting, once I start building in scenery and reducing my chances and flexibility to alter stuff further down the line, we are going to go full DCC wiring. So we will be putting a wiring bus under the layout, and we will be having droppers. I want droppers really, depends how I get on, because my first attempt at soldering a few months back was a bit not good, hence the pre-wired fish plates. I'm determined to get a hang of soldering. I'm going to watch, there's plenty of soldering videos out there, but that's going to be next. The next episode is me putting the DCC bus in, connecting it to the NC power cab, and having power, creating power to both main lines, fettling the main lines just so everything track-wise is sort of straight. We're 5 months in, blimey. Yeah, so addictive though still. If you're thinking of getting a model railway, guys, and you've put it off and put it off, just get one. Just go and buy a train set. Go and buy a second-hand train set. Wherever you budget, there is something for every budget in this hobby. And as you've seen, I've not used expensive tools. I've gone to Lidl for most of my tools. I've gone to B&M for glues and Home Bargains for little bits and pieces. I've got those helping hands. Lidl had those helping hands. I saw somebody on Facebook. Let me see if I can reach it under the bear one sec, guys. Lidl had these helping hands. I've literally just took them out of the box, so apologies. So these are literally just to help you hold everything at once. Let me see if we can get that. There we go. That should tighten there, and that probably tightens on that. And then if you're holding track and wire or solder, these are brilliant. So I've got 2 of these. They were in Lidl. You can buy them anywhere, but these were in Lidl for about £3.50. No more than that, it's £3.49, something like that. I'm doing this on a budget, but where I am saving money, I'm putting it into Locos, because I like buying Locos, as we all do. And if you're getting into model railways, you will also start liking buying Locos, and more and more and more of them. But they're not cheap. They are not cheap, but I have been shopping. And before we get on to a second project that I've decided to take on, that I wasn't expecting to take on, I've gone in a different direction, more on that in a bit. But I have been shopping, and if I can, let's power up the railway and I'll show you what I've bought. So as some of you may know, it was Network Southeast's 40th anniversary this week just gone. So Rails had a absolutely banging flash sale. We do love a flash sale. There's some great bargains out there, guys, if you look for them. This hobby is only as expensive as you make it. But I did treat myself, and I think, yeah, this was an absolute steal at Rails of Sheffield. It's the Hornby 423, Class 423 4VEP. I'm not an expert, guys, but I do like a DMU. Someone's going to say it's an EMU now, aren't they? Forgive me. But I do like a 3-4 coach train like this. It just looks stunning. And it was sound ready. Now, I've never fitted sound before. So what I also got was a Hornby HM7000 sound decoder, the TXS sound decoder. So what I got, because this wasn't a sound fitted model, I got, because it was Hornby, I treated myself also to the TXS sound decoder. Never fitted one before. I fitted decoders, fitted a couple of decoders, DCC decoders before, but never fitted the TXS sound decoder. Now, it was all right. It was all right. If you've never heard of HM7000, basically HM7000 is a product that Hornby introduced, whereby you can control your trains, control your locos via Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth receptor within the DCC decoder that they sell for HM7000, and it allows you to control your locos, control your layout basically, from your mobile phone or a tablet or anything with a Bluetooth connection and a screen. I've decided not to go down that route of controlling it via Bluetooth, but the beauty of these are that you can still control it with the NCE power cab and a lot of other different DCC controllers as well. So it's got that functionality, and HM7000 is basically plug and play. That's what's attracted me to it. If you've heard me mention before, I'm a big fan of Hornby Railroad because they are good value, sound fitted models for about 140 quid. So I've got a lot of Hornby Railroad coming this year from the Hornby announcements last year, the first of which will be coming next week. I'll probably do a review video on it. Now we've got Track Power, I'll start doing some review videos of locos as well. Not because I'm an expert, but just to show you guys, if you're thinking of getting one, what it looks like up close, all the fine detail, most of which I don't know what it is, but it's all pipes and stuff. I love it, I love it. But yeah, just to give my response to it, and like I say, I'm a big fan of Hornby Railroad. I think Hornby establishing a railroad value brand has been brilliant for the hobby. A lot of people think it's just for kids, and it's just for kids getting into model railways from train sets, but what Hornby found last year, Hornby said themselves, what they're finding is it's more middle-aged people coming back into the hobby, and it's people that have been in the hobby for a long time but are on a budget, and this is what it's all about. Like I say, there's a budget for wherever you budget, there is a model railway out there for you. Literally, there's a model railway out there for you. Depends how far you want to keep buying, but the bargains are out there. Second-hand, toy fairs, eBay. You have to be careful with second-hand, but I bought second-hand. I had no problems with them. Touch wood. But yeah, I digress. Waffling on. So yeah, I fitted the HM7000 code. I'm not going to show you how I fitted it because every loco is different, but it does come with full instructions, both in the loco itself for removing the body where the decoder chip is to be fitted, but also it comes with full instructions in this, the actual sound decoder, to how you fit it, and also it comes with the Sugar Cube speaker, which I think is quite a basic speaker, but it's good enough for me for now. It's if I put the, as long as it does that, I'm happy with that, to be honest. For the price of it, sound fitted, you can't beat these. I don't think you can't. You can upgrade the speakers. Again, there's lots of plug and play speakers that you can upgrade to. I'll probably do that further down the line because I just like having the trains and they've got the lights on, and yeah, I love it. It's a cheap way of getting into sound, and that is what I like. Hornby 4234 VEP. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about when I say it quick, don't I? Yeah, I love it. I love it. Ran it in yesterday. Like I say, this, give it a bit of speed. There we go, not too fast. I don't know what the prototypical miles an hour is, but I think that's all right. Everyone seems all right in there. Yeah, the layout itself, as I've said, is going to be 80s, 90s, nowhere geographically, nowhere specific. It's going to be very generic, sort of scenery, BR station stuff, so that I can run basically any region that I want. So we're going to have the BR, the intercity, which are multi-regional anyway. But we can also, when I fancy running an NSE 423, I can do that as well. And a bit of rail freight in there as well. But yeah, absolute bargain. Keep your eye out, guys, for bargains. They are all out there. Perfect for the imaginary station that's not going to be here. So yeah, in terms of the layout, this main line is probably just going to be greenery, little odds and bods from railways for the girders and bits of old track in there, and a signal box somewhere, which I'm going to have to put some points in. That's a whole new video. So yeah, let's switch this one off. There we go. So yeah, other news, we're going to start second layout. I was not expecting this. Let me sit down, tell you all about it, guys. So, short story. I was thinking about getting a second layout in a different gauge, just a smaller layout to put into another room. I've got a desk which I'll show you where we will be doing the live streams from eventually. But I've got a desk in the front room, and there's a space in front of that. So I thought, get a TT120 layout in there, and it's a new exciting scale that a lot of people are very enthusiastic about. There's some great stuff out there for TT120 now in terms of products and stuff like that. If you're not familiar with the TT120 scale, it's in between M scale and 00. There's a middle sort of ground in terms of size and scale, which is TT120. So yeah, TT120, I was going to go and go ahead and do a TT120 layout. Then one day I was listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast, which is my absolute favourite part of the online Model Railway Week. If you're not listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast, it is fantastic. James, Sam, and Sam from Emperor's Path, James from the Western Signalman, and Tom from Buggles Kelly Station. You'll find them on all the socials. The Model, well, I can't even say it, MERP. We'll call it MERP because everyone calls it MERP. If you've not listened to MERP, it's the episode on Monday, first thing on YouTube. It's also available on Spotify and other podcast streaming things, but I watch on YouTube because the video version is on YouTube, and it's just brilliant. It's such a brilliant podcast, very entertaining. The guys are just brilliant, and they talk all things model railway, what's in the news, helpful tips, have guests on and all that. So I was listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast. They're doing an episode Wednesday, shows. They do a shows and exhibitions diary for shows and exhibitions up and down the country on a Wednesday as well. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, highly, highly recommend. So I was listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast, and they were talking about different gauges, and Sam from Emperor's Path said, we were talking about O gauge for a bit, and he said, well, you can get an O gauge layout in about an 8-foot space. And then my ears pricked up straight away, because I'd always thought O gauge, A, too expensive, B, too big. So again, all these different talks of gauges. If you're not familiar, guys, the trains that I've got a 00 gauge, that's like the standard gauge for all your Hornby train sets since you were a kid and all that sort of stuff. O gauge is the next one up, and it's quite a big jump, to be honest. So I started looking, and then I come across a company that I'd not bought any Locos from before, but through circumstances changing, their stock was being reduced quite heavily. Those that have model railways will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, guys, it is Hellion. A Curoscale manufacturer bought out Hellion. It's part of the deal. They got all of the stock, and Hellion were very, very well respected for producing O gauge stuff and also double O gauge stuff. Not too sure on the other, if there was any other gauges, because I'd always looked at Hellion models in double O, and they were out of my price range. I liked them, but they're out of my price range. So when Curoscale bought Hellion, the Hellion stock of models, they chose to sell them direct, and as a result, they're a lot cheaper. So I decided to go into O gauge, and I'll show you what I bought. This this weighs about 3 kilograms. I think the board can take it, but yeah, this is my first O gauge Hellion Loco. Well, actually, lie. It's not my first O gauge. I bought quite a bit of O gauge, but for today, we're just going to talk about this one. We're not going to talk about how much I'm spending with Hellion. No, not while I'm not sat down. So this is my first O gauge Loco. So this is, if I just lift this off, gently does it, and you might be able to tell already, guys, that this is the Class 37. It's it's a tractor. One of my favourite locos. I think everyone has a soft spot for the 37. They are magnificent machines and well packaged. And there's a lot. There's comes with lots of different bits and pieces, but we're not doing a review on it because I've got no track yet. But I will be getting track. We'll get the starter set of track eventually. If I can just lift this out, lift it without, because there's so much detail. My God, it's heavy. And because it is so heavy, there we go. Because it is so heavy, it's actually fixed to a wooden plinth, which it unscrews from, but I'm not going to touch it just yet. But just look at that, guys. The detail on this is insane. It is absolutely insane. The glazing and the detail inside as well is just fantastic. I think it has working fans as well. It's got, I think it's got cab lighting, and it's got directional lighting, obviously, as well. But you look at some of the buffer beam detail. I haven't a clue what all these pipes and stuff are, but they do look great. And they've got the chains, the detail on the bogies as well. These are literally about half price now. Obviously, they're from Hellion Direct. Hellion. I'm going to say Hellion. They're obviously from Hellion.com, direct sales. So these aren't available at these prices in model shops. I understand the whole thing that's going on around the Curoscale Hellion, and everyone's got their opinion. Personally, I think it's their business. We want cheaper models in the hobby. We've got cheaper models. And in terms of retailers and supporting the retailers, I do buy a lot of stuff from retailers as well. And because we're going into O gauge, and I'm only going into O gauge, I can only afford to go into O gauge because of Hellion. I'll be buying baseboards, controllers, track, scenery, lighting, all that sort of stuff. Everything else to do with the model railway, I'll be buying from retailers. So I'm very excited on this second project. I know a lot of people have gone into O gauge on the back of these reduced price models. These are $299 direct from Hellion. I think they were approaching 600 beforehand. This is a very heavy and very well detailed model. And yes, I've got some smaller O gauge models as well, but we're not going to talk about that. And obviously the 00, this is not an advert for Hellion. I'm just telling Hellion have always been a brand that I've not been able to enjoy because of the price point for my personal budget. But that has now changed, and I've become a very, very big fan of Hellion. This is very, I love this. I do. Stop just stroking it. Right, so yeah, I will be, well, I have committed now to an O gauge layout, which means two things. I'll be visiting some O gauge shows. If you're also getting into O gauge, or if you're thinking of getting into O gauge, hop over to hellion.com, have a look at the prices on there. There's a big range of stuff, and 00, to be honest, 00 gauge. A lot of Locos for 99 quid. Rustons, Class 2s, 47s, 25s, 26s. Yeah, and that's just in 00. In O gauge, there's 37s, 47s, 56s, I think. There's DMUs in there. There's all kinds. There's all kinds in there. So anyway, enough waffling. That brings us to the end of this this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Thank you very much for the support. We've had another over 100 subscribers in the last month. I'm bowled over by it, by the comments, and if you're an expert, anywhere I'm going wrong, or anything that you've got any advice on, drop it in the comments. More than happy, welcome any advice. Anybody that's looking to get into model railways or looking to get into O gauge, drop us a comment and let us know what your plans are, or if I can help in any way, or if anybody else in the comments can help in any way, we will do. That's what it's all about, community. So on that note, me and this Network Rail beast, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.